All right. Hey, fair enough. And I promise I'll do better filling out a form. So listen, so thanks so much, right? So thanks so much. We've got Debbie and I both about 30 minutes. And so we talk a lot during the week, talked a lot with Tom during the week, and we've made a lot of calls and talked to a lot of agents. So what we've got for you today, I want to go over something first, and then we'll get into some of the strategies, some of the conversation around sellers and how I think it can help you when you're on that listing appointment, move them forward or get them to at least price right. Because my friends, what I'm seeing are tons and tons of cancellations and now price reductions. First, we were seeing price reductions. Now we're seeing cancellations. And I think that having a different conversation going over into that listing appointment, maybe taking a different approach can help you. And that's what we want to do. So I do want to ask a question though. So there's a lot of people on here. There's like probably 60, 70, 80 people that you guys always get. And it is, so I was thinking about this concept, right? It's hurricane season. So most of you guys are in Florida, and I know some of you guys aren't, but you'll get the idea and the gist of the whole thing, right? So it is hurricane season in Florida. And basically what that means is a whole lot of stuff goes into the mix, right? The weather gets warmer. There's these things, I think they call them like nor'easters, and the wind's whipping and the water's warm and all this other stuff. This perfect ingredient or brew or whatever that we call hurricane season. And it starts, I don't know, I think it started about a month ago and it lasts somewhere until around November. Now, here's my question. So for those of you who are in Florida, y'all probably lived through a hurricane before or whatever. How much notice do they actually give us when it comes to a hurricane blowing through Florida? Anyone?
A week?
A week? Yeah, sometimes even longer, but we get like a whole week. Yeah, somebody says 5 to 10 days. 5 to 10 days, maybe a week. We get like a big window as far as, hey guys, there's a hurricane brewing and it's on its way, right? So we get that. And so then what happens is we go and prepare, right? So what are the things that we do? And you can put them in the chat, you can call them out. I don't really care. But what are the things we do as Florida homeowners when they say a hurricane is coming? We do.
Have a hurricane party.
That's the final step, right? We definitely do that. We definitely do that.
Bring in our outdoor furniture.
Yeah, we bring in our outdoor furniture. Well, somebody said prepare, but that's what I want to know. Like, what are these things that we do to prepare?
Make a list.
Make a list.
Board up the windows.
Board up the windows. We bring our furniture in. We buy
gas
alcohol.
up.
Yeah, gas up. I saw alcohol. I love that. Yes, we do. We make sure we get supplies, all these things, right? And then after we've totally prepared, right? We go grocery shopping, we board up our houses, we make sure we've got other ducks in a row that I'm probably not thinking of, right? We bring our outdoor furniture in, and after we do all of that, we probably, in some cases, we check on everybody else, right? How are you doing, this and that? But we batten down the hatches, prepare for this hurricane, and then we check on everybody else and do all the things, right? So that's what we do, whether it's a category 5, whether it's a category 1, whatever, that's what we do. And when we've got multiple hurricanes coming through, we do it a couple of times. Here's what I'm getting at. I was talking to Debbie. I was talking to Tom, and I've been talking to lots and lots and lots of agents over the past couple of weeks as we've made the transition to EXP. You guys know that, so we're reaching out friends and the ones that we coach and stuff like that. We're just having business conversations. And this is what I'm seeing, my friends. There is a hurricane coming and no one is prepared or acting in a manner that you would prepare for a hurricane. We have all the ingredients, people. We have all the ingredients. We have inflation, interest rates playing games. We got global crises. We got a war going on. We got crises in home, in politics, and all sorts of other things. We got the perfect storm for this hurricane, and yet none of us are acting in a manner to prepare for this hurricane. And I saw what made me think of this, and Deb and whatever, was not only the conversations we had, but there was a Zoom that I watched a little bit of a recording on the other day that George was a part of and Veronica Figueroa was a part of, and some other top agents. It was a mastermind of sorts. And they had a gentleman on there, they had Vijay Williams on there, who works with a gentleman that some of you may or may not know. His name's Ben Kinney. And he even talked about it. He put it a little bit differently. He called it the bear on the hill. And then they told a whole story behind it and so on and so forth. I'm calling it a hurricane. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to prepare for this hurricane. And there are some things that you can do. And I want you to act like it will be here tomorrow. And if I'm wrong, you win either way. You win either way because you come out a better business owner, you come out a better team leader, you come out a better real estate agent. Tom, I don't know if you sent out an email that I shared with you on a concept around the word cronk, C-R-O-N-K. Yes, no, maybe kind of, Tom?
Yes, I did send that email out a while ago when you, yes, that was, actually, I posted that email in our master Facebook page.
Okay.
Because it was, when you had your coaching session with your top teams, this is something that you had put together about a month and a half ago, right?
Yes.
Correct.
All right, perfect. So we'll just go over that real quick and then come up with maybe a few ideas from the group that you can do then to build your business going forward so that you survive any hurricane or anything or any influx in our business that shows up. It's important to me because I don't know. There's a lot of agents out there. Here's what I'm hearing. I'm tired. My buyers don't want to move forward. I can't get my seller to list properly. Like, I'm hearing all the things. I get it. I get it. I was an agent too, many years, and I'm still an agent today at heart. And of course, my passion and Debbie's and Tom's is to help you get better, do better, build better career in life. So let's go over Kronk real quick. Kronk is just an acronym, and it's C-R-O-N-K. And I want you to do this not only in your personal, but in your business life. Flashlights and batteries. A little late on that one, Gina. We moved on. I don't know if flashlights and batteries will help your real estate career. They could, I guess, if you go into a vacant home that has no electricity. Thank you for that. Just kidding. Sidebar. But this idea around Kronk, C-R-O-N-K, and do it in both your personal as well as your business. And the easiest way to do it was I was playing with my tortoise. Oh my gosh, like what? Like seriously. That's funny though. I like it. All right. And the easiest way to do is pull out your bank statements. I know that I've done it. I've done it a couple of times. I'm going to continue to do it in case I miss anything. But C stands for cancels. What expenses do I have that I can cancel? I just don't need them anymore. I just don't need them anymore. They're not doing anything for me. You know, if you're buying leads and they're not converting or whatever, hey, maybe you shut them off. I don't know. Maybe you're running advertisements that's not generating anything. I don't know. Maybe you shut it off, but you need to go and really look at that stuff. Maybe you're buying into some, I don't know, extra, what do you call it? Like when you turn on your TV, you got like all the apps, right? I think I bought all the apps, but I need to get down to like one app, right? Like Hulu or something. I don't know. But, you know, maybe there's some stuff hanging out there like that you need to cancel, right? Then R, Deb, what's R stand for? Where's Deb? Deb's still here?
I'm here. R is, I forget.
I love it. Replace. That's okay.
Replace.
I know. Easy
Replace.
to forget. Go ahead with replace. Deb.
Yeah, so replace is now, and what Curtis is talking about is you sit down with your bank statement, personal and business, and each item you ask these 5 questions about each item. Can I cancel it? Can I replace it? So what would replace mean? Well, you just mentioned it, Curtis. All the apps on your TV, maybe I cancel them, but I replace them with Hulu, right? So it could be canceled, but it could be replaced. Maybe if you have an expensive lead gen, you replace it with something that is less expensive, right? So you're asking of each item all 5 questions, and then you put a big letter next to each item so that when you finish analyzing your bank statement, you go and execute on the things that you've done. So R is replace.
You got it. And then O is offset. So that could mean, so for instance, I don't know, in my business, maybe I do some sort of a appreciation party or whatever the case may be. Maybe I can get some vendors to, and I think we all already probably do a good job at it, but it is worth analyzing to make certain that we're doing a good enough job at it. But maybe we go grab a vendor partner to share in those costs, right? To offset some of the heavy lifting on these costs, right? N stands for negotiate. Can I negotiate it? I don't know. Maybe you're renting office space down the street and you can renegotiate your lease or something to that effect. And again, here's the funny thing. This is not, Debbie and I not only speak with real estate agents, we speak with business owners too, outside of real estate. That's why it's so important. In fact, I was watching TV, and I'll get to the K in just a second, but I was not watching TV. I don't know, I was doing something. But anyway, I happened upon Tony Robbins, and my judgment or my guess would be that you all know who Tony Robbins is. In fact, his message right this very second is for all business owners out there. He says winter is coming. Winter is the same as the hurricane. That's what he means. So it's not just me saying this, or Deb saying this, or Tom saying this, or Ben Kinney saying this. You got Tony Robbins saying this, and this is the conversation throughout all business and all industry, not just real estate agents. He says, winter is coming, and if you are not paying attention and you are not making adjustments and not taking the necessary actions and steps within your business, you may or may not survive. He also goes on to state that others that see that winter is coming, that perhaps or potentially are outside of your industry, will enter into your industry and will take market share from you. That's what he says. Interesting. Anyway, all right. So we'll go from negotiate, right? So what can I negotiate? We all know some of those services we pay for, we can negotiate. I just did it with my cable service the other day, right? You can call and say, hey, listen, I'm thinking about getting somebody else. And then they cut you a deal to keep you. Happens all the time, right? And then the last one is K. It's keep. What I got to keep. It's working. I love it. It's mine. It's, it makes all the sense in the world for me to have this, blah, 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 whatever, right? It can't do without it, right? So real simple. So CRONK, Deb just put it into the chat box. Now, after we've done all of these things, right, which that's just getting our house in order. That's the just getting our house in order part. Now we got to continue to build our business and do all the other things. So I just wanted to share that with you real quick. I don't know any thoughts on that. Curtis, you're absolutely crazy. You're out of your mind. You have no idea what you're talking about. Or I think this is great. I don't know. Somebody talk to me.
So I'd like to also bring something up, Curtis. As I'm typing, I'm looking for something for everyone. We also talked about what's one of the most critical components when we're working with a seller right now is not let's take a chance and see what will happen. Why don't we price the home just below the market so we get more attention on it, more focus? Because if you don't do that, I'm going to promise you this, you're going to see a cancellation. You're going to have your seller tell you you're no good. You're going to have, oh, why is Joe down the road selling homes and you're not? I heard that so-and-so is better and I'm going to go work with them. And you know what it is? You never went through the expectations to say to the seller, hey, the market is correcting. The market is changing quickly. And if we don't change quickly, well, Zillow says it's worth $590. I'm telling you, if you don't list it at $550, you're going to list it at $590, and then you're going to be calling me when it's under $500. Is that what you want?
Yeah. So I love where I love where your head's at, and so that's what we wanted to talk about. So was pricing strategies, and so I just again before we get into that conversation, and I care about each and every one of you. I care about all real estate agents. That's where Debbie and I's heart and passion lies, is in helping people, changing their lives. And yet I can't say it enough. Please act like the hurricane will be here tomorrow. Do that. Do that. It's coming. And and maybe it's already there in your market, maybe it's not. I don't know. Either way you win. Either way you win. Maybe it never shows up. Maybe it never shows up. But please, please, please act in a manner that it's showing up tomorrow. Because I want to be on this call next year, this same time, and I want for each and every one of you to be here. Each and every one of you to be here. So do that with your expenses and stuff, and then go work on your business, right? This is all the thing at the same time, and go build it and go have the conversations and do all the things. All right, on to the seller conversation, because that's what we promised. So read a great article, talked to Debbie about it. I've got one little tippy for you. Tom is the bomb. Why can't I be the bomb? Tom's not the one talking. I'm the one talking. I want to be the bomb. Somebody put in the chat the bomb. I'm the bomb. See, next to Curtis, it says bomb.com. Just saying. I'm just kidding. All right. So here we go. So I don't know about your market, but this was happening in our market. You too, Curtis. Thank you, Barb. All right. We're at 2.3 months of inventory locally. And we're trending in that direction to where it could be 3, 4, 5 in the next couple of months. And I noticed, because I look at the patterns and so on and so forth, and our attrition rate has dropped significantly. We see the price drops, all the things, blah, blah, blah. So I'm going into a seller conversation. If I know in this particular area or in my market, I'm at 2.3 months of inventory and climbing every month, there's another conversation I can have with them. So stick with me, and I trust that these numbers will make sense. So if I take 100 and divide it by the 2.3 months of inventory, what number or percentage do I get? Someone do some math. All right, I'll do it. I'll do it.
43.47.
Oh, my goodness, Steve Pugh, thank you so much. 43.47 or whatever. That's
Curtis,
close.
real quick, sorry to interrupt. Where'd the 100 come from?
Well, that's 100% of the houses.
Gotcha,
Okay,
2.3 months supply.
Yep, with divided by a 2.3 month supply,
Thank you.
right? So I got a number of what, 44% basically? 43 point something, we'll call it 44. That means 44% of the currently listed homes or inventory in that particular market will sell within the next 30 days, and the remaining 55% will still be on the market next month. That's the conversation you have with your seller. And in whatever market or subdivision or area that might be in. So if you've got, we'll use easy numbers, 10 listings in a particular subdivision, 4 of them are going under contract, 6 of them will be under contract, or excuse me, 6 of them will still be on the market next month or the following month. So as I'm sitting there and I'm having a conversation with them, you would say, Mr. Seller, therefore we need to be priced in the top 44% of homes in this particular neighborhood. Are you guys with me?
Gotcha.
So when you're sitting there having a conversation about price and they want to be here because they want to test and we're going to come down and all this other stuff, you can have that conversation with them and get them to price properly. Anybody have a thoughts or comments on that? Or do we need to go over it again?
No, what I'm looking for is my script booklet, and I think it's in the team. I think it's in the master page of GPS on having a pricing and consultation conversation with the questions in there. And I can see Claire; she's probably looking for it right now because I've been battling trying to find it. There's scripts for that, so make sure you prepare yourself for pricing strategy scripts and also pricing price adjustment scripts, because right now is critical. It's not about how can we get the highest offer of the 20 offers we have. How can we get an offer right now that is going to be right for you, that's going to give you the most money? So those are in there. And I highly recommend you dig in there. And I want to kind of back up a little bit. Vija Williams. Vija is one of the top coaches and business women in the industry. And if you don't know her name, you need to find her and follow her on Facebook and everything else. I've had the privilege of meeting her millions of times, VIJA. And she said exactly what Curtis said. And she said, Ben Kinney told her, wipe out 20% of our expenses immediately right now. What do I have to have? What's a must-have? MLS fees and you know, board dues. What do I need is you know, your car or your fuel or your insurance and stuff like that. What are the things that I like to have, such as stuff that you're not 100% using? Get rid of it. So, and then double down on the lead generation. So
Tom, what was her name?
Vija, VIGA Williams. Anytime you ever have a chance to hear her speak with Ben Kinney or anywhere else, her words of wisdom are, and she's got good enthusiasm. Ben Kinney's very dry. So I rather listen to Vija than Ben all day long. So even though he's the brains behind it all most of the time. So
Just a quick
Yeah.
thought about that, Tom. You know, Curtis and I were bold coaches running around the country at the beginning of the pandemic and knew instantaneously day 2 that that wasn't going to be viable because there were too many coaches. And if it was going to a virtual environment, that wasn't going to be sustainable. And we had heard the Kronk analysis right before. Yeah. It's whatever. When I heard that the director of Bold was using that on his expenses, knowing that he was probably a 7-figure a year earner, and he was going to sit down with his wife at the beginning of the pandemic, I'm talking about March 2020, because here's the thing, I can cut back my cable. It's not permanent. It's just until I've either
If it doesn't change your
ramped
life,
up
it
my
doesn't improve
business
your
so
world.
much that my momentum is clear that it's going to sustain. It might be 3 months, it might be 5 months, it might be 6 months. I'm not canceling it forever. I'm just notching my belt as tight as I can get it today, temporarily, to sustain me with more profit, to manage my life and my business. Because then I can weather any storm, especially because you don't know how bad the hurricane's going to be. You don't know, is the hurricane going to go in the town next to you? Is it going to pull your roof off? Is a tree going to? Here's the thing. You cannot be in the path of a hurricane. If the wind blows a tree over and it crashes into your roof, you've got problems, even though the hurricane didn't hit your town. If you have water intrusion, you have stuff you have to worry about. So although you may not be hit by the hurricane, if you're sideswiped, you still have fallout. If you have 10 listings right now and one guy gets sick, another one, their kids move home, so they're going to keep the house. Another one, 2 won't lower their prices. In 3 months, you might only have 6 listings. And that was not really foreseen because you thought if I got 10, I'll close 8. So you may have a dramatic turn of events that if you've already tightened your belt as tight as it could be, you are more able to weather any storm that comes, right? So don't discount that as I'm good. I'm good. You know, when I saw the director of Bold say, this is what I'm going to do in month 1 of the pandemic, I went, oh, maybe I should do this exercise. So don't discount that as a strategy to help you navigate the storm.
100%. 100%. Open it up, guys. Curtis and Debbie, this is your call today.
My call, I'm out in 1 minute.
Hey, guys, man, what absolutely fantastic. And you know what happens in this kind of time frame, soon as you get, especially if you're just growing your business and you get that listing, you're so excited and you're ready now to grow your business, and that seller starts giving you an issue. Next thing you know, your feelings of futility kick in. You're not going to, you know, go get another listing, So, and then this YouTube premium, you guys said cancel this, cancel that. I agree. I don't watch TV. I watched one movie in the past 3 months. You may say, yep, that's because you have a boring life, Fred. My life is exciting. I love it. I stay in peace. I just can't tell you. I live in bliss. And I don't watch TV. I watched one movie, I think, in 3 months. But I've watched hundreds of hours of YouTube Premium. I posted a link in there. Don't buy YouTube Premium on your iPhone. They upcharge it $4. Buy it through that link. Look at that guy's thing on YouTube Premium. Like the name that Tom mentioned, I write that stuff down. I go in there. YouTube Premium will cause you to have a multi-million-dollar business if you tune into people like Tom just talked about, and Debbie and Curtis. And so please, 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 definitely stop spending, but invest $11.99 a month for YouTube Premium. Save the playlist, get your favorites, your meditations, everything that's on there. So guys, this is great. I mean, what an opportunity for those because a lot of my people are on here, they're just starting their business. What a great opportunity for you to gain market share, to make an impact in your market, and you be the one that wake up every morning strong, and you're getting out there, how to take control of that seller. And by the way, use public pricing as a means to stage a pressure. Is Alana on? Alana presented public pricing to $1.3 million in St. Petersburg, right? That is not for the timid seller. They don't want us to put up 1% in marketing fees up front. But what I did for her, and I haven't followed up with her to see if they did it. I said, well, listen, because it's 55 days on the market. They're relocating, elderly couple. And I said, well, listen, you got to have a strategy because what you are doing and it's not working, correct? 55 days, not one offer. I said, so here's what I tell people is that you want a price reduction that happens every 8 days because a changed listing will stay in the MLS for 10 days, or at least in our MLS. And I think they're common around the country. So every 8 days, you need to reduce that price. And I said, start this. If you don't want public pricing, you don't want to invest $14,000 in marketing to throw a pricing party, then you go with your Dutch auction, because they first came and said, we don't want an auction. Well, you have an auction. Every listing is an auction. It's a Dutch auction. I put it on for 500, no offers, I reduce it to 490. If I had no offers, I reduce it to 475. That's called a Dutch auction. That's a formal means of an auction. Look it up, Dutch auction. That's what every listing is. So you say to people, the Dutch auction's not working, so let's get more aggressive. So you start making those price reductions more aggressive every 9 days. So I told them $10,000 every 8 days. And I think that helped her. So use public pricing, because when they hear they have to put money up front, they'll pay attention. And for a decent house, I'll get on a Zoom call with your seller. I only spent probably 15, 20 minutes with them. And as soon as they heard they had to write a check, they back out. But I think I got their attention for Alana. So this is great, guys. This is what we need. For those that are just starting, you are in for a great opportunity, because this is where you can start a new business for sure.
Yeah, 100%. So Fred, I want to piggyback off that. Whether you're brand new to the business, whether you've been in the business 3 years or whether you've been in the business 20 years, those who've been in the business a long time, you better go back and start sharpening your skills, because if you don't, and you just rely on your database only or what you can say in front of the consumer, you're going to lose out to the person who's out there doing the script and the role play. Right now is pricing strategy is huge. And also, if you go through your listing presentation in EXP, you can personalize that to you, and it has questions on pricing. It has questions on motivation. If you can't get motivation, you'll never get pricing. Hey, Stevie, I see your hand up first. No, it's probably not Steve with his hand up. It's probably Mitch or Andrew. Hey, by the way, hey, Stevie, how you doing?
Yeah, funny, Tom. Morning, everybody. All right, so I made a couple of notes. When we're going into listing appointments, before we get into pricing, we are asking sellers, do you know the difference between the new market?
By the way, Steve, are you brand new?
Yes. No.
Okay, you're not new and you're doing this. Okay, and you're seasoned. And how many listings a year do you take? 1 or 2?
About 655, something like that.
No, about 75 to 80. That's you.
I guess, yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
So we're having conversations. Basically, do you understand the difference between the new market and the old market, so that they understand the current market that we're in? Also, we're not taking any solds past 60 days. We're predominantly running off of actives and pendings. And something else I'm going to institute, if you get in there in a pricing conversation and you're running through actives and a property's coming up to 30 days on the market, hey, Mr. Seller, looking at this active comp that's directly comparable to yours, that's still available, been on the market 30 days, what do you think their next move is? Sitting on the market, Tom, 30 days. What do you think their next move is?
You got a reduction. You
Right,
got to
so let's
reduce
get
it.
ahead
You
of
got
the
to be
competition. So
aggressive.
let's get ahead of the competition. Let's not chase the market. You want to be a smart seller. Let's be smarter than the other sellers out there, and let's get ahead of the competition and price it right from the beginning. So those are the kind of conversations that we're getting into. Also, you know what I mean? If it's going to sit, it's a bit tricky to articulate, right? But if their payment's $2,000 a month, their motivation is get into a new home, they can overprice, sit there for 4, 5, 6 months, spend 15 grand in payments, or they can price it right and get into their new home now. You know? So just a few things.
Well, and thanks for bringing that up, Steve. I wanna share some. Tony Robbins said this last year. Not Tony Robbins, but Grant Cardone said it's if you can help them understand numbers, they'll make a decision quickly, right? So it's not about the percentage of commission. It's not about the price of the home. It all goes down to what is the net that they're comfortable with, and everything else is irrelevant. So when you open up the conversation with your seller, and you start the conversation about if we sold this home today, in the next 30 days, you closed on this home and you were able to net and walk away with this amount of money, what would that do for you? Great. Let's sit down and go through that, right? So they're comfortable walking away with 200,000. So if you put a 6% commission and you help them walk away with 210, are they happy? Yes. See, commission becomes irrelevant when you can actually show them the value in what you're going to help them get. Now, what I loved what you said, Steve, was this: old market, new market. And you're also doing active, pending, and sold, not 6 months, but 2 to 3 months. So important, because I just had this conversation yesterday. An agent was pulling comps from 6 months ago, and he couldn't justify the price that it was today, because it's taken a slight price and decline, right? It's not huge, it's not massive, but you got to get ahead of it. Like Curtis said, we're telling you a hurricane is coming. Are you preparing for it? If not, are you putting your family in danger to that hurricane to demolish your home and put harm on you? Or are you preparing, sharpening your skills with scripts? Steve making a quick adjustment. I mean, he's been in the business a long time, longer than I have, and had his own brokerage. He lists a lot of homes, and he's doing it quickly. And do not be afraid to have those conversations. Be bold, be brave. You're the professional. You're the one that they're relying on. Love this.
Real quick also, Tom, and then I'll shut up. But on the buy side, you know, years ago, we were used to pulling comps before we'd write an offer. You know, in the old market, when houses were listed, we were just writing offers for our buyers. We need to get back to pulling comps for our buyer clients. So just that as well.
Well, great call today. I love the feedback from everyone. You know, I love the attendance. I love the energy. And I just want to share something of value I just want to share something with you guys. So Curtis and Debbie are coaches. And by the way, they both have coaches. And when they told me what they spent on their coach, I was like, holy cow, okay. You know, it opened my eyes to go, oh, they're investing in themselves with some top coaches. So with the value that we get from them for 30 minutes on a Friday call, by the way, if you coach with them, they pay their coach over $2,000 a month for 30 minutes once a week. He's on our call given 30 minutes and not charging anything. So for all of you to understand that, and then bringing something that he is seeing in the market with top teams that he coaches over $100 million and top mortgage companies that are producing at a very high level. Show up on Fridays, show up and bring someone and take notes, because if you don't take notes and you don't take action, I have notes already, you're going to get crushed by this hurricane. If you take notes and everything else, you got a huge opportunity ahead of you. Don't be afraid of it. Prepare for it. Those who are prepared will always succeed. Whether you love him or you don't, Tom Brady's going to go down as one of the best quarterbacks in history. And he was not even in uniform. He practiced, he trained, he practiced and he trained. Drew Bledsoe got hurt. He was a starting quarterback. He was the star of the team. Second stringer got hurt. Third stringer got hurt. And they're like, who the heck are we going to put in this guy? Tom Brady, who was way down on the draft pick and everything else. He's a skinny, tall, little dweeby guy. I don't even know if he's going to do all right. And now look at, because he was always prepared with heart. He was prepared with his brain. He was ready and he jumped in and put me in, coach, right? Remember that song? He was prepared. Are you guys prepared for what's coming? If not, it's no one else's fault but yourself, because we're bringing everything we can to bring that to you, to prepare you.
In transition, opportunity shows up.
100%. I love that. In transition, opportunity shows up.
Yeah.
Deep, good to see you, my friend.
How are you, Tom? Amazing call as usual. And this is what I want to bring up. And I know we have a lot of new agents on this call, and some of them been in the business a little longer than we all have. This is what I love about this group is we've been having this conversation for the last 4 months. And I've been on other calls and nobody talks about this shit. And it's kind of scary in a good way, scary in a bad way, because I'm kind of happy that they're not prepared. I am prepared. So that's one way to look at it. Opportunity, like, what Steve just said. This time I'm prepared. Last time, I think Tom wasn't prepared. I wasn't prepared for the last crash.
Nope.
We were not there. In this situation, we're going to take opportunities. I'm doubling down on everything I do when it comes to my social media marketing, videos, anything and everything. I'm double downing for the next year. Not going to look back what's costing me. Not going to look at what's coming in and out. Second, please, guys, don't listen to people on social. It's like there are people out there making comments like, oh, don't panic if your agent's telling you to reduce the price because it's been on the market for 2 weeks. That means they're not doing a good job of our marketing. They don't have their social presence, this, that. There's a lot of BS out there. Look at the market in your market. Don't compare what's happening in New York. Don't compare what's happening in California. Don't compare what's happening in San Francisco. Look at your numbers every day. First thing in the morning I look at my MLS. How many reduction? Just as of today, in 24 hours, we have 179 properties when price reduction. Just today, 229 active. Does everybody know that? No. You got to know your numbers. That's the only way you can go educate your clients. That's the only way you can tell them, hey, when you have this conversation, we didn't have any showings. Yeah, just to let you know, we had almost 200 price reductions today. That makes the buyer think. Numbers, market dictates the numbers. There's nothing me, Tom, Steve, Fred can do, say that, no, we can sell at this price. It's not that. It's market's going to dictate the numbers. And it's changing faster than the last crash. I've never seen it. I never thought I would see this in my lifetime, but it's happening.
Hey, Deep, amen, brother. And I just put in the chat, what business are you in? And most don't know it or realize it. The better you are at the information business, the more money you're going to make, because that's the business we're in. Steve just gave you some information. If you didn't get that quote down, which I started to write it down and a ding went off, and that's what happens. What was your quote, Steve?
In transition, opportunity shows up.
Claire, I found it. Sorry, Fred. All right. So the script booklet with pricing strategies in it, okay? Claire, I'll help you this time. It's called TLR script booklet. It's in Workplace under Files. Okay, Fred, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Hey, guys, I have a hard stop right now. Please keep going on this call. And I'd love you guys to keep interacting on this because this is so important. Claire, thank you for helping me find that.
Thank you, Tom.
Hey, Claire, can you put that in the chat?